Welcome to Conceptual Math, a website that contains free teacher tools and, for a limited time, free student activities on fractions. This video will provide you with an overview of the features of our free summer school student activities and guide you through the process of signing up to use them with your students. We know that many students struggle with fractions and that many of those struggling students will be receiving remediation this summer. So we are offering over 50 free student activities designed to be used in correlation with the free teacher tools to help those students improve their understanding of fractions. These activities include dynamic student feedback to assist the student in self-correcting their errors during the practice examples, and real-time teacher support, providing teachers with information on how the student performed during skill check, and allowing the teacher to select the next activity appropriate for their student. Clicking on any of these links here will allow you to sign up. Fill out the questionnaire and you will receive a password and a link to this page. As you can see, the activities are organized into two specific units. One that builds student knowledge from conceptual to procedural understanding through the use of models, and the other that contains activities requiring students to apply skills and think critically. For example, ordering fractions on a number line or unitizing fractions on a grid. Each topic contains one or more activities labeled by levels. The first level begins by having students work with models only and moves to linking models with fraction numbers, and in some cases goes on to procedures. The following levels build on each other, progressing to more abstract use of numbers and symbols only. Each activity includes instructive feedback and a report on student progress. Now, suppose your students are working on subtraction with common denominators. We suggest you begin with the free teacher tools to introduce and model the concept or skill. In this case, go to the free Tools for Teacher page and select Subtracting Fractions with Common Denominators. Now you can provide guided practice by having students work on examples along with you or through the use of an interactive whiteboard. Students can manipulate the models to reproduce a problem that you provide to them. They can drag the model to help them find the answer, in this case the difference. Remember that since this is the teacher tool, you can use models only, link numbers to models, or work with numbers only. Once you've provided direct instruction and guided practice, have the students return and click on the free student activities for their independent practice. Remember, the first time they log in during a session, they will have to put in that password. So let's take a look at the format of one topic. As you will see, the Level 1 practice problems begin with the use of models only. In this case, the student just fills in the numerator and checks their work. This is so students develop a conceptual understanding of what it means to subtract fractions before learning the procedures, and they work with a number of models. Students then move on to creating the entire model and checking their work, and have a few examples doing that. Then they move on to working with numbers, at first just entering the numerator. Finally, they have to enter the entire number. In this activity, they still have the option to use the models if they wish. Let's take a look at the feedback provided when a student makes an error. Let's suppose the student made an error with both the numerator and the denominator, and then click the Check Work button. The activity contains feedback in the form of visual cues along with an error message, in this case telling the student that all the fractions in the equation must use a common denominator, and the denominators are circled. The student has an opportunity to correct the error and check work again. This time the cue is an X over the equal sign, and the error tells the student that the subtraction is not correct. Once again, the student has an opportunity to correct the error and check the work, this time receiving the correct check mark. Upon completion of practice problems, the student then comes to a skills check. It is during the skills check that the student's performance is assessed. The student enters answers checks work and receives either a correct check mark or an incorrect X mark and is not allowed to go back and change the response. The performance score is presented here on the assessment review screen. We have designed the screen to facilitate further discussion and review between the student and the teacher. Students who achieve 80% or higher automatically move on to the next level or topic in the sequence by clicking on one arrow after reviewing their score. We suggest you ask students who do not receive 80% or higher to notify you upon seeing this screen. The teacher then clicks on View My Answers and can review and discuss any examples that presented problems or misconceptions for the student. After reviewing and discussing these problems, you once again return to the assessment review screen. At this time, the teacher can have the student do another activity like this one, or work on a pre-skill, depending on how they reacted during the review session. These activities are different than those on the topics page. If you'd like to get started, remember it's very easy. Click on any of the Sign Up Now buttons, complete the brief questionnaire, and you'll receive an email with a password and the link. We have also developed additional support material that can be found on the Summer School Support page under Training. We hope you see the value in adding these student activities along with teacher tools to your summer school instruction.